Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is January the 8th, 2026. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Thursday to ya. Hopefully the day was a good day. Hopefully the day treated you well. As for myself, it was actually a good day. Felt like it was a nice turnaround for a really bad week that we've been having. No tears for baby, so we'll take that. At least for today. But we woke up. I got a good amount of sleep, even though I definitely went to bed stressed out. We got to work, and there were a few cardboard buggies waiting for me. And I was like, okay, hey, we'll take it. And then my former lead / homie had came over and was talking to me. And, at first I was like on edge because, I'm just like upset about, the work situation or whatever. And this is a thing that kind of can happen, right? Where, you have that blurred line between like, hey, this is my coworker / like a lead. I should be like on my P's and Q's anyway. But also it's like, hey, this is a reminder of my work situation, right? So I gotta, it's just into that lane. But then when that person talks to you, you are reminded like, oh, this is my friend. Like, this is a person I actually care about. Like, I'll probably take a bullet for this dude. Like, hell yeah. And so, then you kind of relax, you unclench your butthole and that's good, right? That's a nice feeling. So I'm working and I'm talking to my friend. I'll say my friend. Yes, I was like my coworker. No, but I think I did do this. I don't know if I'm clocking myself or if I actually had just picked up a bad radio walkie-talkie that was like dead. That's like a notorious problem in my warehouse. But whatever. And my walkie was off and I was talking to him. My supervisor comes down and he goes, "Hey, do you have a walkie?" And I go, yeah, I do. And he goes, "Is it on?" And my lead tried to my homie, he tried to cover for me, right? And he was like, "I think his walkie is broken. So he probably just needs to get like a new one or something." I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it might be off. I don't know. My bad. He goes, "Make sure your walkie-talkie's on." And I'm like, yeah, you got it. And then proceed to go back upstairs. I was like, why the fuck did he do that? And I'm like, great, I'm already getting cooked. So that immediately deflated my inflating mood, right? And I literally tell dude afterwards, "Hey man, I think I just gotta get back to work, And I wasn't mad at him or anything like that. Like, if it was anyone else, I probably would have gotten more chewed out or something. So like, whatever. But I was just like, my mood had kind of went back, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm in defense mode still, right? So I'm working. Anyway, dude calls me on the walkie, and he goes, "Hey, I need you to come up here when you get done, like when you clear out the buggies, when you get on the second floor." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I gotcha." So I do that. I go up to him, and I'm nervous, right? Like, it's giving principal's office. It's giving I'm in trouble. It's giving you're gonna give me some stupid bad task that I don't like. I'm ready for the worst. And he proceeds to like put out this paper. And he goes, "Hey, I just need you to like vote for 2 people." And I'm like, "What?" Like, yeah, it's like an employee of the year thing or whatever. Like, I just need you to vote for 2 people, which is the thing that happens. I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. I have no idea who these people are. Whatever. I'm just checking the boxes. I'm glad I'm not in trouble." He then also proceeds to give me a t-shirt, more work swag, which we get throughout the year all the time, right? And in a way, this is him actually kind of being a bit nice, because he's like, "Hey," and I also assumed this was happening because I didn't get the call about this the other day. He's like, "Yeah, you're on my team now, obviously, but I don't think HR or whoever sets up the shirts like fully knows that yet. So they probably sent your shirt to your old supervisor. Don't worry, I have extras. It's all good. Here you go." I'm like, "Thank you, awesome." And then we just talk shop real quick about like, "Hey, so the crusher's good, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "What I want you to do," and I don't know if this is like the long-standing goal, because if so, I am super on board with it. Hell yeah, cool. But he was like, "I just want you to hit the crusher, make sure it's good, come upstairs, do putbacks, like cover the floor, do your little cardboard bunny, whatever. Then go back down like on the hour and check on the buggies. You do that and we should be good. And I was like, awesome, because that's what I want to do. So I proceed to go do that. Essentially just alternating throughout the day. I then got another call up again, and he was like, "Hey Isaiah, I need you to come up again next time you clear out the buggies." And I was like, "Okay." And I go back up there again, and he pulls up this email, and he's like, "Hey, you didn't scan out the your walkie yesterday properly, so like make sure you do that." And I was like, oh, okay. But he wasn't like mean about it. And that's the thing that's very frustrating, right? Is he will turn on this energy that it's like demanding dad or something like sometimes, and then he won't have it other times, and he just talks to you like a normal fucking person. So like obviously I'm fine with the latter, but when he talks to me with any kind of fucking tone or weird angle, it's just like, brother, I'm 35 years old. What are we doing here? Like, this is dumb as fuck, but like whatever. Let's just get the job done. Yeah. And overall, he's about that. And I think that that's a common thread that I think we can keep kind of getting to, I hope. So yeah, I mean, most of my day was what I wanted to be, at least in terms of this new team dynamic, right? This new department I'm in. And I'm like, I can rock with this. I can work with this. Like if this is how it is, then cool. I will say it got so dead though. Like at like 2:00, he was like on the walk. He's like saying, "Hey, if any of you guys want to go home, you can come and ask me and I'll let you go home." And I'm like, yeah, no, I need to get my fucking money. Shit, I'm literally going in on Martin Luther King Day, even though that's now officially a holiday. I guess until Trump takes it back. I don't know. But so because it's like a federal holiday and everything like that, at our job, they're like, well, you can come in and we'll give you time and a half. And I'm like, look, dude, I might be hating my job right now, but I'm coming in for the shmoney because I need it. Especially because we didn't get like any overtime really last year. Like we got like maybe 5 overtime shifts. So I'm definitely like down to work some, even though I'm not in the best mental state. But if today is the new normal for me, what we went through today, then I am okay with that. I think. Knock on wood. Let's knock on some wood, everybody, collectively. Hit that shit. Because I need this. I just need things to be close to normal. Because if I get enough of my enclosure time, my time in the dumpster, then hell yeah, I'm a pig and shit. You know what I mean? I'm pleased with that. I'm okay with that. But yeah, that was more or less work. Like I said, we'll put a thumbs up for that. Hell yeah. Post work, we went to the gym, and it was another busy day. It's been a busy week at the gym, which makes sense. I know I keep saying it. But I was able to get on the Smith machine right away. We love that. We got on free weights after. It looked busy, but then I got a spot, and I love that for me. And then from there, we did some filler work and we did cardio, and that all went well. I will say, though, I'm noticing that I'm kind of slowing up on the treadmill. And my current excuse for that, why I'm not like running it down as hard, is we're doing a lot more walking at work. We are definitely back on our walkabouts on the job. Like as much as I definitely miss just standing and just mashing the board. Now I got to get mobile. I got to get a little nomadic even. So it just is what it is. And I feel like that's given me enough to be like, yeah, let's not like, run every single minute here. I'm just not in the mood. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to max it out on that regard. But anyway, still W cardio, W weight training, overall good gym session. We love it. Let's see. We came home, we had our snack, we had our stretch, we did our research, to the best of our ability. I also fretted because I'm having a bit of a computer issue with one of my laptops. Every once in a while, it's like something gets caught in like the fan, or the fan is having some kind of brake issue. I don't know. But, it's probably something that you're hearing on the microphone if I'm quiet enough, or you just have the keen ear. And for that, I am so sorry. I know that this is an audio format. You don't even get to see my beautiful mug. So, it sucks when I'm giving doo-doo audio. I definitely get it. I understand. Mea culpa on that part. I'm hoping that it gets resolved, or I don't know. Because that's all I got. That's the only trick I got in the fucking bag at this point, okay? Thoughts and prayers. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and get do our startup and let's get into some news. Yeah, it just sounds like the dash rattle, like or like when you have like a soda can in your car and it just rattles in the cup holder. It's that. It's driving me nuts. All right. Our first story comes from ABC News. Two shot by federal agent after targeted stop. Portland mayor asks ICE to halt operations. Spoiler alert, they don't. Two people were injured in a shooting involving a federal agent in Portland, Oregon on Thursday, according to authorities, with the mayor calling for immigration enforcement operations to halt while the investigation is ongoing. The Department of Homeland Security said the shooting occurred while Border Patrol agents were conducting a targeted stop on a vehicle carrying two people allegedly affiliated with the Tren de Agua gang. The passenger was a target, DHS said. Dude, I just love how like we just use this gang title as such a bumper sticker to be like, yep, you're brown. We think you're, an illegal, immigrant. We're going to bust you. We're going to fucking, hassle your ass. Like, we have full fucking legal authority to do so in this administration. No one is going to stop us for real. It's crazy. When agents identified themselves to the vehicle occupants, I love that. I obviously don't, but it's an annoying trope that they love to bust out here. When agents identified themselves to the vehicle occupants, the driver weaponized his vehicle and attempted to run over the law enforcement agents, DHS said in a statement. And I'm sorry, every time I picture them saying this, the driver weaponized their vehicle, I just picture this shit on some like, get a Megatron, and like the fucking car like shits him out and then like fucking like stabs the fucking ICE officer or whoever in the fucking throat. And they're just like, oh god, no. It's just so stupid. Like, what are you talking about? You are coming at them crazy, and they're in a car. And if you react in your car, well, guess what? You're a living weapon now, dude. We're playing Magic the Gathering rules, by the way. There you go. You crewed up, bitch. You're in the red zone. You're coming for me. We get to execute you, actually. Set your phasers to fucking kill now, dude. I'm sorry. It's just, it is so insane to like, we literally had a situation like this the other day in Minneapolis. We just fucking covered something just like it. These motherfuckers have no goddamn chill. No fucking chill, dude. During the press conference, Portland Police Chief Bob Day said local officials do not know the facts of this case, but an investigation is ongoing. Asked whether the passenger is linked to a previous shooting, the police chief said, "I can't comment on whether or not that's the case. We don't know who these individuals are." Portland Mayor Keith Wilson told reporters, "We know what the federal government says happened here. There was a time when we could take them at their word. That time is long past." That's, I would say there was really never a time, personally. But, like, I obviously get where this motherfucker is coming from. I get what Chief Keith is saying here. No, Mayor Keith, whatever. It's like these motherfuckers are just so out of fucking pocket. Like, it's too hard for these motherfuckers to back that kind of blue in this kind of situation. They're just like, oh, no, you guys are icky. And as much as I would love to lick the boot here, I can't. It's more or less what this guy's saying. I mean, maybe that's just how I'm interpreting it. Maybe I'm just being a piece of shit. We are calling on ICE to halt all operations in Portland until a full and independent investigation can take place, he said. Our community deserves answers. Let's see. Let's get to the actual incident. The shooting incident occurred around 2:18 p.m. local time on Thursday, officials said. Portland police officers responding to a call for help found a man and woman with apparent gunshot wounds, according to the police department. Officers confirmed that the federal agents had been involved in a shooting, the Portland Police Department said in an earlier statement, adding, Portland police were not involved in the incident. Police officers applied a tourniquet and called for an emergency medical personnel. and the 2 shooting victims were transported to a hospital. Police said. Okay, now I just kind of want to stop and really run this back and think about this, and we'll marinate on it a little bit, right? You're driving, you're doing your fucking thing, right? You're now a part of a targeted stop. Not just by your fucking local cop, border fucking agents are fucking coming from you for out of nowhere. For what? Well, they're saying you're in a fucking gang. That's what, buddy. And then they fucking put one in you, and they put one in the person next to you, and you gotta fucking drive off, right? You try to just get out of here. Meanwhile, they're gonna say that you weaponized your vehicle to attack them. Awesome, great. But you fled for your life. You just got fucking shot up, goddamn GTA style. Who are you gonna fucking call, right? It's so crazy that we are in this fucking Sophia's choice of I just ran from a group of law enforcement, and now I gotta call another group of law enforcement and hope that they don't shoot me, right? And hope that they treat me like a fucking human being. And luckily in the situation, the police actually did. And they said, okay, clearly you're a shooting victim, right? And we're going to attend to you. We're not going to blow you away because, we've seen situations like that. We're not going to do that. And we're going to get you actual treatment. We're not just going to turn you over to the fucking body snatchers. Awesome, I guess. This is the best of that bad scenario, I suppose. At least one half of law enforcement did something here that was what you'd hope. But yeah, no, it is crazy that once again, they come at you, they shoot you, then they accuse you of attacking them with your vehicle that you were fleeing the scene from being shot, by the way. So, and they said you're a gang member. I don't know where the evidence is for that, but they're just look at them, and they're Trinidad. Did you not hear me? What more do I need? It's like you're not understanding. It's like you're not getting this American common sense I'm just laying out in front of you. That's so weird. You must be some woke radical liberal. This must be the woke virus or something, I guess. Oh man, it is so wild to hear this discourse. We're just kind of shifting back to the Minneapolis thing as we're kind of gonna move on. But speaking of that, the FBI weirdly is not cooperating with state, local law enforcement, whatever the fuck, which I find very odd, right? I say I find very odd, but I don't. Normally you'd expect these motherfuckers to have the cohesion that they normally have, right? But no. We're going to play weird jurisdiction rules here because obviously you guys are being a little too woke over there. This is not what you're saying it is, actually, local law. Leave it to us. We're not going to give you all that evidence. I'm paraphrasing that story a bit here. But it's a very frustrating story. It's a very frustrating situation. I completely get it. That paired with, what we're doing internationally, yeah, I know it's a fucking terrible, shitty vibe right now. It's not good. It feels really ugh. We're in a strange time. Anyway, let's see. Let's do another update though. Well, I say another update, but I'm kind of just saying that because we're talking about the Minneapolis shit. From The Guardian. Iran plunged into internet blackout as protests over economy spread nationwide. Iran was plunged into a complete internet blackout on Thursday night as protests over economic conditions spread nationwide, increasing pressure on the country's leadership. While it was unclear what caused the internet cut, first reported by the Internet Freedom Monitor NetBlocks, Iranian authorities have shut down the internet in response to protests in the past. NetBlocks has reported outages in the western city of Kermanshah earlier in the day as authorities intensified their crackdown against protesters. The Norway-based NGO Iran Human Rights, or IHR, said on Thursday that Iranian forces had killed at least 45 protesters, including 8 children, since the demonstrations began in late December. So that is a much higher number than we last spoke. I believe 7 was the number, and it seemed like there was just more about just the detaining of people. But I do remember talking about the situation that the fear was that this could get much worse very quickly. And obviously we were hoping it wouldn't, but we see that it is dragging ever more worse. I didn't word that well, but Let's see, what else did I want to read from here? Shopkeepers heeded calls from 7 Kurdish political groups for a general strike on Thursday, closing their doors in Kurdish regions and dozens of other cities around Iran. The Hinga rights group posted footage of shuttered shops in western provinces of Ilam, Kermanshah, and Lorstan. It accused authorities of firing on demonstrators in Kermanshah and the nearby towns of Kamaran and then to the north, injuring several protesters. Let's see here. I mean, there's some more details here. There was like a name I think I wanted to pull that maybe might be relevant for the future. But, they highlight the Woman Life Freedom Movement of 2022 with Masa Amini, her death. They're saying like the protests aren't necessarily hitting the same kind of vibe or level as that, but they are ratcheting up to it. And I guess a bit of a recap though is that this is over economic issues in this specific situation. Everyday life has become increasingly unaffordable for Iranians. The average price of food has increased by more than 70% since last year, and medicine about 50% in the same time period. It's also something that I needed to note here, and I haven't really noted in the Venezuela situation, because we talk about the economic turmoil that's going on there, the refugee situation that's going on there, and a lot of the onus is obviously put on Venezuela, put on the administration, put on Maduro for doing all that shit. It's like, yeah, his regime pushed so many people out. And it's like, another factor there? Fucking sanctions. Sanctions from the West. That's a big factor, and not just the Venezuela situation, but also this Iran situation, where it's like, yeah, where's all the fucking money? It's like, yeah, we can't get it. We can't acquire it. Like, it is so hard to work with us because of the situation. And you could say, well, yeah, those sanctions have a reason. They have merit. It's like, yeah, they have merit because essentially in the West, especially from America, we want to see you guys do something for us or change something for us. And if you don't, then yeah, you're going to suffer. Your people are going to suffer. And they're going to suffer so much until they want to topple you. They want to overthrow you. And then maybe we'll get what we want. And then we'll be happy. And we'll say maybe in the past we would use soft power, terminology talking about, yeah, we want to spread democracy. Oh, this is, we want to make sure that, we care about these religious minorities. Insert this reason, that reason, Trump administration doesn't give a fuck about that. You can see that very blatantly, once again, with the Venezuelan situation, where it's like, we don't care about these bad regimes or whatever. As long as they give us what we want, which in this situation is some kind of oil, which is some kind of fucking control point here. If we get it, we have that. We don't give a fuck, man. Whatever. So, I don't know. Here's the last point I guess I wanted to hit. The name I wanted to kind of remember. The exiled crown prince, Reza Pahlavi, the son of the Shah, who was ejected by the 1979 Iranian Revolution, has been trying to fill the leadership vacuum in the movement. He urged Iranians to yell from their windows on Thursday and Friday at 8 p.m. local time to show their support. Based on your response, I will announce the next calls to action. Pahlavi said in a widely shared video. Like, what are we doing? A shout poll? Bro, if you got something, go get to work on it, I guess. I don't know, man. Guys like this, and I'm very ignorant. I'm not going to sit here and say this from a point of intelligence or any kind of fucking acumen or know-how. But guys like this, like the Marina Machados, I know I just kind of keep grouping these kind of situations, but they're just so close, and it's easier to kind of just reference the points, right? Guys before that, though, I mean, insert region, insert person here. It's like, cool figurehead, bud, but like, I get it. You're the guy who's probably gonna like sell out to the West or whatever the second you get the fucking position. It's probably how you've gotten this close, right? But like, if you don't have an actual real strategy or real plan, then like, what's gonna happen? Because most likely a guy like you is just dying on the vine, at least metaphorically. You know what I mean? Machado never got that call. I don't know if this dude's gonna get his fucking shout out that he's looking for. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. And this is not me in any other situation saying, hey, I'm rooting for the administrations in either. I have my beef with both for different reasons that, you've heard throughout the fucking, podcast. So it is what it is. But I don't know, man. Crazy times. Obviously, to kind of go back to the top of this, why we came to cover it. The internet blackout situation is always a disturbing thing. I never like hearing about that, and that on top of the fact that 45 people have been killed is kind of showing that things are definitely seemingly taking a worse turn, which is unfortunate. So wanted to cover that. That is our second story. Now this one, let's see, I got to get the reader on here because BBC loves to block me these days because they're poor. Okay. It's okay, bud. I know we're all broke right now, dude. It's hard out here. It's tough out here. Shit, y'all ain't even got no sanctions though. So really, what's the excuse? The tariffs? No. Anyway, the lawsuit. Shit, lawsuits. All right. Let's see. I wanted to talk about the prince formerly known as Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. But this is a BBC banger. Oligarchs linked to bribery paid Andrew £15 million for mansion. And if you're wondering, that's a lot of money for a mansion. It's a lot of money for a mansion. Some are saying too much money for said mansion. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor received millions of pounds from an oligarch using funds from a firm implicated in criminal corruption. A BBC investigation has found. I'm gonna fuck this name up or this area up. Kaska billionaire Timur Kulibayev has told the BBC through his lawyers that he used a loan from a company called Inro Pacific Investments to help him buy Andrew's former mansion. Prosecutors in Italy concluded that the firm had received cash from a bribery scheme in 2007. Weeks after the last of these payments was made, the oligarch bought Sunninghill Park in Berkshire from the then prince for £15 million with the help of funds from Enviro Pacific. Kulibayev is the son-in-law of Kazakhstan's then president and was one of the most influential officials in the Central Asian country's oil and gas industry. The BBC has also learned that in another case, an Italian businessman pleaded guilty to bribing the oligarch. Let's see. So I mean, this goes on a whole tale. We're touching in Italy. We hit Kazakhstan, the whole fucking kit caboodle here. A lot of intrigue, but essentially, dude gets his house. I don't even think he even occupies it. He winds up leveling said house, builds like another big mansion over that, and I don't even know if he's in that motherfucker. But all this to say is that he winds up buying Andrew's fucking little gift that he got from the Queen. And, Andrew made a lot of fucking money off this deal. And went through a lot of hassles to make sure this deal went through. And they're like, you didn't feel like any of this was suspicious? And he's just like, no, man, who am I to say? Like, a deal's a deal. Like, the deal got paid. I'm not here to worry if he got ripped off or not. Like, that's not my issue. What are you talking about? And to that extent, I get the logic, and it kind of leads me to the thought I wanted to kind of close out on this really brief paraphrasing of this investigative article. It's definitely worth reading if you're interested in that, by the way. But money laundering is just never that big of a fucking crime to me, honestly. In the tier list of white collar crimes, it's pretty low, and just crimes in general is pretty low. Him being a fucking pedophile is way worse to me. way worse. And just how he lies about shit and the other schemes and fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? I feel like he's more dastardly for that stuff. That being said, a crime is still a crime. And it does look like this guy did it, but or at least all the parties were involved doing this whole fucking grifting thing, through, I guess this Enviro Pacific. That being said, do I think any charges are really going to materialize? Well, I don't know. At this phase, we are just saying, hey, there was an investigation, at least via BBC. This is what we found. We were able to link this and that and the third. All well and good, but I haven't seen a case on the table. So, there's that. There you go. More Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor news. Didn't have that on the docket for the week, but we'll take it. Obviously, boo that man. Tomatoes for that man. He made too much money on that mansion. Whatever. But yeah, let's go ahead and take our last break, and then we gotta talk. We gotta talk diet. We gotta talk food pyramid to be specific, and how we're about to put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. But yeah, let's go ahead and take our last break. Yeah. It's your living plan, yeah. I'm sorry. I did that in your ear. You'll understand in a second. All right. Our last story comes from NPR. RFK Jr.'s new dietary guidelines go all in on meat and dairy. Also, before I go any further, can we talk about how unhinged it would be? And you know what? I'm speaking this into existence so that some freakier, weirder, dumber nerd than me who like uses AI song maker things will make this, I guess. But the fucking Missy Elliott RFK Jr. collabo would go so crazy. And I don't mean that in a good way. I mean like it's a dystopian, this would summon the Antichrist kind of thing. But like, goddamn, to be alive in that time, right? Anyway, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has announced new dietary guidelines for Americans focused on promoting whole foods, proteins, and healthy fats. Now, I'm going to stop right here. Half of this, I'm not even going to lie to you, I'm kind of here for, right? Like, I like the idea that we're saying, hey, whole foods sound good, protein, all right. Healthy fats, hey, for the right kind of person, the right amounts, I'm here for that. But let's keep reading. At a press conference Wednesday, the administration unveiled a new food pyramid with red meat, cheese, vegetables, and fruits pictured at the top. Kennedy described the guidelines as the most significant reset on nutrition policy in history, calling for an end to policies that promote highly refined foods that are harmful to health. The guidelines will set limits on added sugars and encourage diets that include meat and dairy. Protein and healthy fats are essential and were wrongly discouraged in prior dietary guidelines, Kennedy said. We are ending the war on saturated fats. And they called for a dramatic reduction in the consumption of highly processed foods laden with refined carbohydrates, added sugars, excess sodium, unhealthy fats, and chemical additives. So, boom, stop right here. This part is like the best part about what he's saying here with this whole flipping the pyramid on its head or whatever. We're topping the pyramid now, I guess. Like, you can get me behind the fact that like refined carbohydrates are bad, and I wanted to even like kind of make a little highlight to just like read it here. But refined carbs are processed sugars and grains like white bread, white rice, pastries, soda, stripped of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. So essentially, like, this is the kind of stuff that's, like, really good. It's really yummy. It's the kind of thing that you eat and you can crave. But if you eat too much of it, you eat it in excess, it can be bad for you. And, like, it's definitely the devil for me. Like, I need my carbs. I need it to do this stuff. But, like, if you have too much of, like, you know, the refined carbs, you can definitely wind up a little bit jammed up. And for me, I would say, I mean, sugar in general is just bad for me if we're really going through the tail of the tape. But like, if I'm even being on like my most healthy, I probably consume too much rice in a week, right? If I cut down on my rice consumption, it's a bit better. But I have had meal moments where I sub out the rice for more vegetables, like more salad. And I'm just like hungry. I'm just so hungry and upset. Like, don't be wrong, still a good salad and I'm happy with the salad. But like by the next day, I'm like, damn, I should have had that rice. low key. But still, in balance, it's definitely good. I think it's definitely good for you. In an introduction to the new guidelines, Kennedy and Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollin said, "We are reclaiming the food pyramid and returning it to its true purpose of educating and nourishing all Americans." A food pyramid, which was narrow on top and wide at the bottom, was introduced in the early 90s. Grains were at the bottom, a signal to eat plenty of them, and oils and fats were at the top, a signal to eat them sparingly. The USDA retired the entire pyramid concept in June of 2011, replacing it with the simpler My Plate visual, introduced by First Lady Michelle Obama. Now the plate has been retired and the food pyramid has made a comeback, but this time it's turned upside down. So to me, this is very silly. Like, I do get the lizard brain logic of, like, you guys have seen this before. It's very easy for me to explain it to you, right? Because you've already, you saw it in grade school. And essentially, we're just saying, hey, take this image, flip it upside down. That's what we're doing. But it's like, this is already a dated, antiquated thing. And to my knowledge, I mean, maybe I'm dipping into conspiracy again. I'm Candace Owens again. No. That this was like a propaganda thing, like to get you to kind of eat like shit in a certain kind of way that you didn't need to eat at the time. Or at least, it wasn't necessarily like scientifically as sound as they were making it. And once again, maybe I'm off on that. Maybe you shouldn't quote me. Maybe I'm on my InfoWar shit. But anyway, they retired it. And they put in the My Plate thing. Now, that's not to say that the My Plate thing is a perfect nutritional guide or whatever. I think it was accused of being a little bit too simple, actually. But I did like it. It was essentially saying, hey, look at a plate. And I think the healthier plate thing that Harvard made might have been a little bit better or more accurate. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. But, like, you just have these sections, a bit of a grade, and you go, okay, if I can kind of hit around this approximation, I'm generally probably in a good diet. Now, granted, yes, no, obviously that's not enough. You need to get more detail. You need to get more custom fit. Every body is different, and you got to fit it to what you're trying to get out, your health and fitness. So that's going to affect the ratios on your plate, right? Like, but as a square one thing, I didn't mind that when I saw it. But whatever, kind of went in and out of my head, right? I didn't think too much about it. But needless to say, here we are, 2026, and the food pyramid, it's upside down now. We're in the upside down. Things are strange. I want to say we have a Demogorgon as president, but that's not true. The Demogorgon actually has a way better build, a way better body. Anyway, Vecna has a better body. I gotta say that. Hey, I at least saw the season before the last one. Anyway, this approach can change the health trajectory for so many Americans. Kennedy and Rollins wrote, pointing out that 70% of American adults are overweight or obese due to a diet that has become reliant on highly processed foods and coupled with a sedentary lifestyle. For years, Americans have been advised to limit saturated fat, and the new pyramid is facing criticism. I'm very disappointed in the new pyramid that features red meat and saturated fat sources at the very top, as if it's something to prioritize. It does go against decades and decades of evidence and research, says Christopher Gardner, a nutrition expert at Stanford University. He was a member of the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee, which reviewed all nutrition evidence. He's in favor of increasing plant-based sources of protein, such as beans, rather than emphasizing animal protein. Both the American Heart Association and the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, sure, which includes thousands of nutrition professionals, point to evidence that excess saturated fat is linked to heart disease. And the new guidelines do still include a long-held recommendation to limit saturated fat to 10% of your daily calories. So I was thinking, like, as I was reading this, right, I'm like, what is the angle for RFK Jr. here? What are we trying to go for with this? And I really do think that, like, and then I even thought personally, I'm like, well, I think there's actually parts of this, like, little inverted food pyramid that actually, like, appeal to me as a person who's, like, trying to, like get more swole. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, I think this is supposed to appeal to, like, the Joe Rogan, Rex Heuermann, whatever the fuck that is, kind of guy. You know, you're trying to, like, balance your, like, your fitness and your acumen with your diet and and you're trying to build a better body, blah 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 blah. And like I could maybe see that there's some kind of studies that they've kind of rolled out, talked about, mulled over, yapped on. And you have this kind of line where you go, hey, no, eating red meat is good. Having a bit of like fat in your diet is good for you, actually, especially if you're moderating it. And once again, these are really good for specific people doing specific fucking things. It doesn't necessarily mean that this should be the diet for the average American. But like lizard brain logic goes, well, if you want to be big and beefy, like you want to be really big and strong, well, I want every American to be big and strong. And like, I guess this is the narrative that is being pushed here. Now, I don't know. I'm just fucking, talking my speculation hat on here. But like, maybe that's the angle, right? I don't know though. But apparently RFK Jr. and friends woke up today and said, hey, let's just fucking flip this shit over. Sounds like a fucking plan. Do I want to read this whole thing? No, I think we're good. I think we're good. I know this sounds fucked up, but we're gonna halfway it. By all means, if you want to read the rest of this article, you totally can. But I don't know, him flipping the whole food pyramid on it. Well, one, bringing back the food pyramid, then flipping it upside down. I'm like, okay, yeah, I should definitely talk about that. That should definitely get a strong mention and talk about for the podcast. I figured we'd close it out there. But yeah, no, I guess it is what it is. Like I said, I do think there are some good takeaways from this, but it is almost like the last time we were talking about the whole food thing with this Make America Healthy bullshit. Like the idea that red dye 40 is bad for you. Yes, I get it. I hear you. Do I kind of want to cling to it because I like my candy to look a cool certain kind of way? Yeah, I like the crazy cool colors. They're very hypnotic and it probably makes it taste sweeter. No, it makes you crazier. Well, like whatever. Maybe I need a little spice in my life. No, I get it. That's bad. You don't want future generations of kids and stuff to like, eat this kind of thing, right? And you don't want, yourself to eat it, right? Like it's fine that it's eliminated and corporations actually have to like make a better method, less chemically processed method. I'm here for that. But they always like mash it up with some other more dumb bullshit that's bad for you. And they're like, yes, this is all good. And it's like, no, man, this is now a lot more bullshit. Maybe we should just like actually do things that are gonna, make it easier to have a good diet in America. I don't know. For starters, we could start there, maybe. But I didn't see any of that in this article. I didn't hear any of that in the fucking, statement. So it goes. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of this episode. Bit of a weird wind, but that's how we'll close it out today. If you'd like to help out support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Isaiah News. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Spotify. Follow on Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen. Leave a like. Leave a cool comment. Sharing is caring. 5 stars on Spotify. 5 stars on Apple Podcasts are always appreciated. But if not, you don't do any of that stuff, that's okay. I really just appreciate you hanging out with me, letting me talk about my day, about my precious little life, and my thoughts on the world and the happenings of today and whatnot. So yeah, I appreciate you. I really thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this. Yes, thank you, and hopefully we get to do it again. No, but yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend, and hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.